back, dude. Yeah.
Um, yeah. So I wanted to. I thought it would actually be good to kick this off. Uh, you made a post today, a story post that is kind of aligns with the the ideology behind what I've created as the Lead Yourself First project.
Hmm.
And I got to this point after having a kid, kind of adjusting my schedule to make sure that my life was set up in a way to where I can be present for my daughter, my wife. And I started noticing that the other people who are in similar shoes, they were kind of like what I refer to as like kind of logs drifting in the water, no real anchor. And you made a story post today kind of similar to the fact that dads, men, they just kind of accept life how it comes sometimes and aren't taking, aren't taking the bull by the horns essentially. So um that resonated with me today again because it's kind of where the thought process was when I started going down this path. Um what was it for you that made you, I guess, want to be intentional with the way that you're structuring your life? You've obviously made it very clear that being a dad is important to you. So, just kind of curious where that all comes from.
Yeah, great question. I mean, I think obviously as being a dad changes everything first and foremost. I mean, I did it untraditionally. I had a child with somebody else that I wasn't with, and I met my current wife when he was around one. So it's kind of always been the setup for us, and everything. But um, I think I think it's been a learning curve to some extent. I didn't just become a dad and be like, yeah, now I know everything. I know what to do. I know how to lead perfectly. And it's still it's always a work in progress. Like perfect is obviously out the window, but I think striving for better every day and just learning how to, one with like your spouse or wife, husband. I think that's first because like kids see that, every day. I mean, that's first, right? Like how you interact with other people, especially in the home, with your wife or husband. So for me, it was like seeing that pretty quickly, and also remembering back to my childhood. I think it kind of starts there too, right? You think back of like, how did I grow up? Like, what do I remember? What impacted me? What did I absorb? Like what do I think of now as I'm the man, as I'm the dad? What do I think of my dad? What do like? It kind of just hits you, when you become a dad without whether you want it to or not. It's in the back of your head. These things start coming up and these thoughts start coming up, and so obviously there's that saying of I don't know if it's a saying, but that goal of just like, okay, your dad was learning how to be a dad too, and like giving him grace through that because the mistakes he made, he probably didn't see from his dad, and it just kind of like that generational tree, if you will, of of recognizing like, okay, where he fell short, he probably like he didn't have that guidance either, or whatever it may be. So anyway, without going on a crazy tangent about it, it's just I think I mean I kind of already am. I think it's just recognizing like, hey, what are the things I remember? How can I implement that so my kid avoids that when he gets older, and takes this into his adulthood? How can I just be the best dad? Like, am I showing up every day the way I want to be? Like, or am I just there? And my kid's gonna fall into that, now he's a dad and who's going like, well, I don't know how to do this because I didn't really have an example set for me.
Sure.
That's the scariest thing in the world. I think when you have children to be like, am I going to set them up for success, or are they going to fall into like not knowing how to be a father or be a mother? It's like,
Yeah.
so, and that's our job as men. It's like we're just trying to guide especially boys, dads, dad of boys for sure. It's like trying to guide the men to lead their household when it's their time, and
Yeah.
do it better than we did it.
Yeah.
That's the ultimate goal. It's like I want him to be better as a leader, and I want him to have the attributes times two, you know.
Yeah. That makes sense.
So. it's just it's and then I'm passionate about that, being a dad, seeing how much my kid absorbs everything, seeing how, and you can attest to this, I saw your post earlier too, where it's like the you go, I go, that was awesome. It's like so perfect because put them around it, it's like you, they're immersed in this like healthy environment, that's really impactful because that's just going to be their norm, right? So it's just about set them up for success in ways like that. So I think I just conscious. I think I'm just conscious about it every day. I'm not gonna like allow myself to settle, right, and fall back into things that he's not gonna benefit from. That's just that simple. It's just
Yeah.
making that conscious choice of like, listen, I'm not no one's perfect, dude. Like we're gonna make mistakes as dads. Like it's almost every day. We could have been
Yeah.
better in our heads. We're our own worst enemy in that sense. But it's like if you're really showing up and like doing the work and just being present and like setting good examples, and the rest will fall into place. That's all we can do.
For sure.
Yeah,
Are you coming from a place where you mentioned your father and referencing, the way that you grew up? Do you feel like you had and you obviously don't overshare, but do you feel like you had a good example that you're passing down, or are you trying to correct some things that didn't go so right?
yeah, great question. And that probably could have answered it in a short version. Um, that's kind of where it starts to, like I said, I didn't have an example. Yeah, I didn't. Um, I do now, which is great. My dad now is amazing. Like now he's the example times 1,000. You know what I
Got it.
mean? But it was a little too late type of thing. I saw first 14 years, I want to say, we're just 13, 14 years. I didn't see anything.
Yeah.
Just kind of chaos. It's a dog freaking, just chaos. I mean, grew up just alcohol, just like that type of an environment. So, and again, apple doesn't fall far from the tree in a lot of senses, like what they pass down. It's like
Yeah.
I look back at that, and now as I'm, like I said, conscious, and I'm an adult, and I'm in the dad position. I'm like, okay, I have the awareness to look at like where did my dad, how did he get raised? Like what was his upbringing? And I'm like, probably worse than what I experienced. Like he had it worse than I did. So he's just bringing it down the line, and he didn't catch it in time, or he didn't try as hard to break that generational pattern.
Sure. Yeah.
Um, and as a result, it shifted into me. I started seeing the same things. I was like, oh, there it is. Oh, there it is. Like I'm a dad. I can easily drink too much. Like I have that gene, like or whatever you want to call it. Like
Yeah.
it's there. It's real. It's a real thing. Whether we want to admit it or not,
Yeah.
it's totally valid. Some are just on bigger levels, but I started seeing the patterns. I just started seeing it, and it was just blatantly obvious because I'm like, dude, I was terrified of my dad, as a kid, oftentimes, and then I started seeing things that I was doing where I'm like, oh shit, like I'm starting to become like, oh,
Yeah.
there it was. It just slaps you in the face for, every once in a while. And so I was like, I gotta, like, it stops here, dude. Like, I'm not gonna do that to my kids. Like, but it's been a lot of work, and it's been a ton of work as he's, been growing up. And my end goal is obviously he's not seeing near as much as what I saw, obviously. But again, now it's my turn to just kind of break that and shift it and make sure he has a good experience. Like I put that post up, someone down the road when he's older is gonna ask you about your dad, and I hope he has something good to say. Like I hope it's a good conversation.
Yeah.
Right. And again, now my dad can't speak highly enough about the guy. Like again, alcoholic to like completely cold turkey. Something happened, cut it off completely, got into his faith. Like just now,
Sure.
just insane transformation. I mean,
Yeah.
probably since I was about, like I said, 16, 17, and I started seeing it. And then I got out of the house at 17. But ever since then, it's just been set an example. Like how he treats my mom is amazing. Like he gives to everyone else before himself. Like he's just so sacrificial, hardworking, just everything. Like every category you can imagine. I'm like, damn, if I had that growing up, in those impactful years, those impressionable years, like I just wondered, But again, you don't play the violin. You just go, hey, dude, that's what I had, and it's still on me to change it. Is it harder because I didn't have this or that? Sure, but it's not an excuse. Like man up and just break the pattern. It's on you.
Yeah.
or watch it
Yeah.
repeat itself. And that's the last thing I want to see, you know?
Yeah. Well, I mean, good for you for one recognizing it and putting so much effort into breaking that, breaking the cycle essentially. Similar over here. Dad was an alcoholic, drug addict, and pretty much it was non-existent for my entire childhood.
Yeah.
And it's been 30, or I'm sorry, it's been 21, 22 years since we've even seen each other.
Oh man,
And so there's a lot of things that like you fall on your face figuring out because you didn't have that
for sure.
leadership for sure, and then there's this conscious just like it's constantly here. Like I don't want to be. Obviously, you kind of have the option of do I become that or do I work really hard not to become that?
Yeah.
And now that I'm a father, it's like okay, we're working really hard not to be that. The same type of dad, same type of person,
Yeah.
because I recognize and I'm very grateful for my life. Love who I am right now. So like there are parts of me that are like, I wish I had, some leadership and a father around, but at the same time, I'm really happy with who I've become.
Yeah.
But I can see there there are certain things about me that like my characteristics, my values, like they took some time to develop, and I think that wouldn't have taken so long if I had the right people, and a dad in my life to set the standard, be a good role model. But yeah, I liked what you said there. I can't play the violin. You just gotta. This is the hand that I was dealt, and now I'm just really active in trying to, set my daughter up for much better childhood, and
Absolutely.
um, so I love
Yeah,
it,
and I
man.
think I mean not just like for our kids, right? But like for our spouse, for our wives, it's like I saw my dad treat my mom, you know,
Yeah,
like not good. I mean, they should have been divorced 5 times over. I think my brother and sister, three kids in our family, my brother and sister both were just like, leave him, like leave, like you should just leave. And I was like a mama's boy, so I was like begging her to stay, like I was
yeah,
super attached to my mom. So I know she stayed because of us. Like if it weren't for us, there's just no way, with what she dealt with. Um,
yeah,
just on the level she dealt with it for so long too. But that we ask her now, and she's openly talking. She'll openly talk about it. It's like, I did love him. I mean, I stayed because I love him too. Like I saw who he was at times, and that's who I married. But like most of the time, a lot of those times it was unrecognizable. Like that wasn't him. Like something just got a hold of him type of thing. It was just like he just lost himself for a while. But I mean, point being though, it's like I don't want to even come close to putting someone else through that. Like you shouldn't be married to someone that's just like suffering through it, or like
no,
they're just like dealing with things that you know what I mean. It's like that's not marriage, right? So
no,
it's and again having a daughter, especially I don't have a daughter, right? But if and when I do, it's like even more. How do you treat how do you treat the wife? Like how do you
yeah,
treat your wife? That's exactly what she's gonna see and model. Like how
yeah.
the wife or woman should be
It's
treated. So
exactly
that's
what
even
she's
more
gonna be
critical in that
attracted to.
standpoint. Yeah. So, those things, I mean, they're just a rude awakening. You're like, dude, I have to have it together for that reason. Like,
Yeah,
there's just no way I'm gonna put my kid in that position and just repeat the cycle, like that's just the worst feeling, I would think, for most men. And that's
yeah,
kind of, again, that's kind of where like I'm pretty in your face about it, like I'm pretty blunt, right, with how I coach and how I approach it, as you saw in my stories. But it's like there is a lot of like guys just in the driver's seat, but just in park, It's like, dude, you're okay with like it makes me sit back and be like, you're okay with that? Like that's crazy to me. Like that's half the problem with society, I feel like, and like where we're headed because the potential's all there. Like it's not that hard, dude. You just make smart. You just start small. You make adjustments and like as a man, like you stick to what we our job is like, and you just try to get better in those areas. It's the rest, like I said, it's not trying to figure out everything all at once.
yeah,
I think too many men I see, is, they just work so much. And like that's it. You know, they think
Yeah.
their job is just to provide financially. It's not. That's one of your jobs. You know, if that's the setup you have, and obviously I think that's a big part of what we do and how we feel as providers. But that's just one of the things you need to be doing. You know, it's like because I know so many of my friends or just other people in general where they had to work out like dad. It was a good dad, but they don't have a ton of good experiences of it. Or like they can't remember playing catch with him. It's like what's
Yeah.
the point? You know, it's like you made all this money, dude, for what? Like your kid can't tell you his kid stories about. It's like that's just the saddest shit to me. I'm like, what's the point? You know, all that goes away. It's like yes, you have to survive and you have to provide for your family. Of course, I'm not saying don't work or be, you know, it's like, but you have to find a balance. Like you absolutely have to. There's no excuse. Like we're all busy, you know, and that's where I go back to. That's where I'll just slap you in the face with it. I'm like, we're all busy, dude. I don't care if you have three kids, one kid, no kids. You know, like we can all be busy. We can all find something else to do and make ourselves more busy. It's like,
Yeah.
but you know, it doesn't matter what schedule or how busy you are. Like that should be in the mix. You know, find a time to prioritize my kids and my wife. You know,
Yeah.
so I don't know. I think it just comes down to, yeah, the priorities. You can easily fall into this like complacency where you're just like routine, 9 to 5, like just crazy, like robotic shit where it's like, no, that's not really how we're programmed. I mean, you can't expect to be happy and operating on all cylinders, firing on all cylinders when you're just like, you're just on repeat, you know?
Hamster.
It's like, we're not designed like that as humans. Like, it's just not sustainable,
Yeah.
you know? So I'm passionate about it because I just see it all around me. You know, I see it. It's just kind of just sad. You know, I'm like, dude, it's just what I feel called to do. Is like
Yeah.
point that out and help. You know, from experience and just that's just kind of what provides gratitude for me, purpose for me. But
Yeah.
I do it in a way where it's like take it or leave it. You know, it's like people will only listen if they want it. You got to want it. It's like I can't force feed you. I can't, you know, I can't hold your hand. It's, you know, I will, but I can't literally attach myself to the hip and make sure you do these things. You got to want it too, you know.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we're just wasting each other's time. But yeah, just in short, untapped potential just left on the table, and that's just going to repeat down to your kids. It's like sucks.
Yeah. I agree with you 100% because I feel like so I go back to this term a lot, the term of intentional significance. And I feel like for you to when you have like I think of days where I'm super intentional with my time and the amount of things that I can get done when I'm really intentional with my time is like it's insane. Like it make there are plenty of days where I'm just kind of going with the flow and I don't have like I'm not super efficient, but there's the days then where I'm really intentional with my time and the difference that is made is it's significant. It's huge. And I think a lot of people, men, yeah, all people, but obviously I want to talk towards men. Um, they're just not intentional with their time and what they do. And a year goes down. We obviously we just passed the new year, so everyone has what they want to do in 2026. But with when the end of 2026 comes, there's going to be so many men who just they're in the same spot that they were in 2025. And then it's going to happen in 2027. And it's like because you're just not intentional with your time, with your relationships, with your work. It's I don't know what it is, but people just like have um this like willingness to just settle, and that's not who I want to be around. And I want to help people get to a point where they believe like there's more to life than their 9 to 5 and their boring commute and picking up a coffee on the way to work and just kind of going through like the robotics
Yeah.
of life. I feel like there's just so many people that are just drifting.
Yeah, and I think I mean it's a combination of like, you know, not speaking for everybody when they're in that role, but it's like that's a lot of us society like, that's what they learned.
Yeah.
One, they learned from seeing it from their parents, or you know, from that angle. And two, it's like what society teaches.
Yeah.
Go to school, 9 to 5, get a degree, work your ass off for somebody else till you fall, till you, it, you know, the brakes fall off. and then hopefully you retire at 60 and good luck. It's like that's not a life, dude. Um, so I think it's a combination of both. That's what they saw, and that's what society tells us, and that's where like that disconnect is just completely. They're just staying there, you know.
Yeah.
And it's so easy. That's the we everyone loves easy. That's the problem too. We all love comfortability.
Yep.
I mean, not us all, but a lot of people love comfortability. The people in this position, they just thrive in a comfortable environment.
Yeah.
And that's where I'm like, it's so easy to sit back. Who doesn't want to be comfortable, right? That's the easiest
Yeah.
thing in the world to sit back and be comfortable. Um, that feeling of like, well, I'm comfortable, so what's the point? Why would I do anything else? It's like it's scary that people get to that place, in my opinion. I'm like, dude, I just can't. I just you want to just like you want to just take the hand and just like come on, man. Like I had a call with a guy earlier before this call. Like I do a lot of days. It's like a coaching call for to try to get him back on track. Talking this big game, man. But I had made those stories today before I hopped on this call, and it just perfectly aligned with what I just talked about. I'm like, he just proved my point. It was one of those calls, and I'm not going to talk crap, but it's like at the same time, that's my job. Like, I hold people accountable, and I'll call you out.
Yeah.
So it was just, I'm in, man. I know. I'm like, why now? Going through I'm just, breaking it down. Like we're talking, we're having a conversation about doing this, and yeah, I can't prolong it anymore. I know I have to do it like right now. I'm just, it's unacceptable. Like just talking the and I'm like, all right, man. Well, listen, dude. As you can imagine, I hear this all day. Like,
Yeah.
all right, everyone says that. Like, I hear it from every there's not a man who goes, oh, I don't know. I guess I don't really have a goal, or I guess I don't really care. It's like everyone says what you're saying.
Yeah.
10 out of 10. Yeah, sure, 10 out of 10. I'm like, well, here you go. Let's go. Sign up we're doing it. Let's go today. We start the onboarding today. Fill out we're rolling. All right, cool. Well, let me sit there. Let me think about it today, and I'll get back to you tonight if that's cool. And I'm like, no, dude, this is not how we do. Like, there it is, because it's just so easy. It's so easy to start thinking about all these, like, just overthinking or getting in your head and just going. And I'm like, dude, this is the exact reason you'll be in the same position in 3 months.
Yeah.
Same shit. It may be worse. It might be worse in 3 months. It probably will. Like you're not implementing any sort of structure or systems, and you're expecting to just like say you're all in, talk about it, but when it comes to action, like you said, intentional, like taking steps, there's nothing. You fall flat, and it's like then you wonder, and you wake up 5 years from now going, oh shit,
Yep.
oopsie, 5 years just went by. And if you have kids, 5 years is not acceptable. Sorry. You,
No.
you just wake up in 5 years and then your kids you already hit those impressionable years, dude. Sorry that they saw a tired slug who didn't do shit. Sorry. It's like you missed your window. That's what now he's going to see. Yeah, you have time. You can still make changes. Like I'm not saying you're lost and you're done, your life's over, but at the same time, like those 5 years were super impactful for your children, dude. You
Hmm.
know, they saw a dad who said, "I'm going to do this. I'm going to make a change." They saw you try for a little bit and then just fall flat on your ass,
Yeah. You
and then
quit.
try for a little bit and then fall back, and then try. It's like, what do you think is going to happen as they get older? When life hits, they fall back, they retreat. Life hits again, they fall back and retreat further. Stress comes back in. How do they deal with it? They don't know how to deal with it. Life gets busy. How do they deal with it? They don't.
Yeah.
They fall flat. It's like it's all right there. It's not hard to see. It's like when you wonder. So I don't know, man. It works for some people and some you just can't. It's like you gotta want to be saved type of thing. You gotta have the mentality of like, no, I'm not just talking about it anymore.
Yeah.
I've talked about it for years.
Yeah. It's it's obviously it's easier when you I guess like have this deep understanding of why you're doing it.
Yeah,
Like for me, and like that's the reason why we built the our home gym here.
yeah,
A big reason. It's not the only reason, but like I want my daughter to see my wife and I getting out there and working out. And life doesn't give you many opportunities to like in comparison to our parents and our grandparents and all that. Life doesn't really give you that many opportunities right now to like go through something super hard all the time.
yeah,
We're not walking to work, we're not walking to school, we're not like so we have to, you know, in going back to your point, like everything is so easy right now. Everything's at the touch of our, on our phone, right there, our fingertips. So we can organize so many things. We can have meals delivered to us. We can, do whatever. We can communicate. We're not walking to our friend's house to have a conversation anymore. Um, so by being able to like put myself in that position voluntarily, but then have her see it, like over time, that's going to do a lot to how she develops and how she sees herself, and how she understands hard work, and sees what capacity really is. Um, so like knowing that and having that, that makes my days easier to go through those difficult things. But I think it's so hard for people to, like the guy you were talking with today, for him to, like, what he has to give up is, in his mind currently, it's so much heavier than what he's going to earn,
Yeah.
so, and people just can't see past there's an issue with people having like delayed gratification nowadays.
Yeah.
Everything is instant gratification, and there just is not this like ability to understand that there's something much better if you just kind of work through this season of hard. So I see it all the time too.
Yeah.
It's just people can't do it.
Yeah. And again, I don't want to be that guy who's just saying it to say it, like I haven't experienced it to your point, like we both have. I've been there. Like I've seen the patterns come back into play where it's like, oh, I'm being my dad again, or oh, this is happening again. Like I'm not saying it's not hard for me or I haven't been there, it's like I have. That's why I'm passionate about it because I'm like, I know what it requires. Like I know how easy it is to lose years. I know how easy it is. It's the easiest thing in the world, In the moment, years sound like fucking forever. Then next thing you know, those years have gone, and you're like, no way. Like, whoa, they were right when they said like time flies or it goes by so fast. It's like it really does, and every year counts. Every year counts, especially from like 4 to about 9 or 10. Like every year
Yeah.
counts, dude. Those impressionable years. So yeah, I don't know, man. I think, yeah, to your point, instant gratification is a big one in society now. That's a interesting to look back on. I'm like, at least not at least, but now we have phones to keep us distracted. To your point, like maybe I'm a dad who gets lost in my cell phone, and then oh, kids are want my attention. Here, give them the iPad, so we can both be on our
Yeah.
technology and we can both enjoy ourselves separately,
Yeah.
right? And like that's what society's letting us do now. I look back at like when we were kids, like my dad didn't have a cell phone. Like, what the fuck was he doing? Like, he was just blatantly ignoring me. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there was no, I guess TVs, like, you could put them in front of a TV, right? But
Sure.
at the same time, like, there wasn't near as much technology. So I'm like,
Yeah.
what were they doing? They were really just avoiding it, like they were, so it's scary because it can happen so easily, like
Yeah.
it almost feels like sometimes it's not a choice with how we can be like programmed with it all, with how easy it is to slip into that. And again, I've been guilty of that. I've caught myself on the phone. Like I'm not perfect, dude. We're never
Yeah.
gonna be like, I still do it every once in a while, like even as I sit here and coach men and help men get away from all that. Like, of course, I'm human. Human error. Like, I'll fall back into it from time to time. But I think the difference is I catch it way quicker,
Sure.
right?
Yeah.
I get on my phone, I'm working, and to your point, I'm setting structure, I'm setting boundaries, I'm setting structure, and I'm living by a routine. Like, yeah, well, daddy has to, like, I have to work, and we created a system now, but like I take those breaks. I can put my phone down, dude. Like it's not that serious. I could go throw the football with him if he asked me to. Like absolutely I can.
Yeah.
10 minutes, that's impressionable, dude. Like he's gonna remember that. Or he's gonna remember I was on my phone.
Yeah.
I mean, or it can be both. Like I'm not. He might remember I was on my phone sometimes too. Of course, like he's gonna remember some of this other stuff too. We're not gonna be in control of everything. But if I can control it the other way as much as possible, like that's the goal. Like I want him to remember me throwing the football. Dad played with me when I asked him to. I always remember him being around. I always remember him being present. It wasn't just around like a body. He was there. There's a big difference
Yeah.
because my dad wasn't gone all the time. I just don't remember too many good experience. Like I remember bad experiences, and then I was like, it's kind of shitty because again, he's such a great person now, so it's hard to like talk about it because I'm just like I don't want to talk bad about what it was, but it was like I don't remember too many experiences that were good with my dad. I remember one time playing catch with my dad, like once in the yard, and that stuck with me because it was so far few in between. You know what I mean? I was like, there was so much bad that that one good, I was just like, it's there. You know, I'm like, I know the damn weather. Like, I know it was sunny. Like, I know the breeze was blowing. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's all right there because it was so far few in between. So now, with the society we're in, dad is on his phone or laptop all the time. He's working all the time. So I remember that one time he played football with me. That one time. That's not a place you want to be in 20 years. Having your kids say that, you know, like
Yeah.
so it's to your point, man, it's easy. Society keeps pushing it on us and making it easier to fall back into comfortable. But that's why I think the first steps that I have like guys take too is just do something uncomfortable every day. And I think that sounds kind of scary in itself. People start to run with that too. Like every day, like that's not attainable. I can't do that. Do something uncomfortable every day. Maybe it's not every day, you know, maybe it's every week. Like do one thing a week that's like pretty uncomfortable. You know, like start there if that's too much for you. Everyone's different with their starting points and what they can handle or manage, but you have to get uncomfortable, right? You have to do something that's out of your comfort zone, or else there's zero growth and nothing's going to change, right?
Zero
I just
growth and
always leave
zero
with the nothing
confidence.
changes if nothing changes. It's like it's that simple, cliche, but it's just the truth, you know.
Yeah, it is.
If you leave with one thing, that's it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's this confidence that builds like when you're going through something hard, whether it's voluntary or not, the more and more that you do something difficult, you're just going to build this confidence that that's going to it's going to tell you that you know you can do more of when you're approached by a different situation that you've never experienced, but you have this track record of going through experiences that you haven't in the past or that scared you. Obviously, you're gonna feel a lot better about that situation than if you know went every day doing everything that felt comfortable. So
Yeah. Well,
yeah,
both to that point, not to interrupt, but I think to that point, both will grow you. But both are like it's whatever comes in uncomfortable, voluntary or not, is what I'm saying. Involuntary,
yeah,
right? Whether it's just life stress that hits you and you don't know how to deal with it, it wasn't out of your control, or voluntary, right?
yeah,
Both will grow you, right? They'll build that capacity, but voluntary will expand, like just take that and times four.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Because you're in control. You chose. It was a it was a choice to do that hard thing, and you had every reason to say, "Nah, it's easier if I don't." That's going to catapult that's going to build so much more of that,
absolutely,
you know, mental resilience by choosing hard. Not just like my tire got flat, fuck, my life sucks. It's like, no, you chose to go run 5 miles when the worst thing in your life, like you absolutely despise running. You
yeah.
fucking hate it, right? And I chose to go run 5 miles. What do you think the next day is going to look like? What do you think is going to happen to that mental side?
You're speaking to me today because I got 5 miles on my on my plan for
Nice, dude.
later.
And I'm saying that as me. I hate running, dude. I hate running. I do it for all my fitness stuff that I'm maintaining and the challenges I'm doing currently. But I
Yeah,
absolutely hate running. Like
High Rocks demands a lot of running.
exactly. And why am I doing high rocks? It's uncomfortable, and I love to just create that uncomfortable environment because I know what's on the other side of it.
Yeah,
You know, as I run more, I always, and then you start to, it's like, oh, I kind of enjoy running now. Like, let me find something else, dude. You know, I'm just wired like that. Like, and that's, because I've done it so much over the years, getting uncomfortable. It's like now I just search for uncomfortable. Like when I start to even like it a little bit, I'm like, let me pull some back in here that sucks. You know, it's like that's a good feeling. That's a great place to be at.
yeah.
You know, because that's where everything else clicks better. Your work's gonna start to be better. Your marriage, you know, your friendships, like life will start to be more like it'll feel more doable. Like
Yeah,
they're less stressful, you know. It'll feel
yeah,
just more like we just handle it. We get through it. This is what we do. This is normal for us now. Creating a
yeah.
different normal.
So we've got about 5 minutes left
Yeah.
on this free Zoom call. Talk to me about your coaching. So what are you doing? What are you doing with men? Obviously, you're doing some fitness stuff, but it sounds like you're also kind of tapping into the mindset too.
Yeah.
So what are you teaching men, and how are you helping them grow?
Yeah. And to that point, it's, you know, my big focus right now is a 90-day program for men and dads to what we just talked about, right? It's helping men establish that leadership back in the home, get back on track in all areas. It's not just training, it's not just workouts, it's not just nutrition. It's a combination of all that mixed with the mindset, mixed with the daily disciplines and the habit stacking and tracking, right? Tracking systems. Like it's a detailed program to where after that 90 days, you're set up for success long term. It's sustainable and that becomes your normal, like I just said. That's the goal anyway. And again, it's not a 90-day, everything's perfect, but that's
Yeah.
that's the goal, right? Like we're progressing into like this isn't a cookie cutter generic, like do some workouts, get fit. Like, no, we're working on a lot of different areas that have to coincide here. You can't have this and then not be doing this. You
Yeah.
can't have this, but your mindset's whacked. I mean, then take, I'm just taking your money because nothing's going to happen. It's like we're creating a whole system and structure around your life. And I cater it to what they have going on because everyone's got a different life. It looks different for everybody. I'm not going to say it's not. Some people are busier than others, absolutely, or some people have less time, or what have you. A million things going on. So we cater it around what's going on in your life, your current routine, what's going on, and we build on that and we customize it around that and how can we grow from that and take all the things I just mentioned and set you up for success long after those 90 days.
That's awesome. How long
Yeah.
have you been doing this 90-day program?
Yeah, the 90-day program, I got more serious about it as I felt a little more passionate about it. Probably last year, I'd say.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. And I was coaching kind of that way before, right? Like I've always coached that way.
Yeah.
I have a podcast and I always talk about it. And, like I've always been that person and been passionate about it. But that's in the last year, I'd say it really buttoned up into like a legitimate program that's like
Sure.
built
With some
out now
structure.
to really, yeah, push it out. But
Yeah.
so probably about a year. But again, that my passion's always kind of been there with men specifically, just
Yeah.
seeing it year after year.
Yeah.
So
You got any like crazy breakthroughs that you've seen or, with your clients? Like if you had to just, if you had to tell the story of one client, what would that be?
yeah, I mean, I don't know if I have a miracle story for one client, but what most men take away from this, and again, because it's a system that works, and my whole system too is if you go through 90 days, this is my offer, if you go through 90 days and you see nothing, or you don't see as much as you thought you would, you're not seeing the results, or you don't feel it, or what have you, right? I will work with my clients an additional month for free, because I guarantee there's just zero chance when you go through this 90 days and you do the work and you do everything we're, you know, laying out for you, there's zero chance of that. But that's if it happens, I work additionally. And there's been some scenarios where I'm like, okay, technically that was on you. You didn't do the work, but I'm still gonna work. I got you, man. Like, I don't just throw people away and dispose of them. So I'm very passionate about it. Like I said, I really want to help people. I think it's just gratifying. Most men take away like I see them implementing it in the household. Whether I see their videos online or whether I check in, it's a check in, and I'm just being a friend. As opposed to a coach checking in with them, asking about how they're doing, what's different. Are you still maintaining these daily disciplines? Like what's your days been looking like? How are the kids? What is it? Whatever I
Yeah.
do check in wise, like it's been positive, right?
Yeah.
I rarely, and this is awesome. I rarely hear like, now I'm back to square one, dude. I fell back.
Yeah.
Shit's the same. I rarely hear that, and that means I did my job.
Yeah.
You
That's
know what I mean?
awesome.
It's less about one miracle win. It's more about that those are all wins.
Yeah.
If I put you on a better path after 90 days and you're maintaining and you're sustaining and building on that I did my job.
Yeah.
That's it. We got you you know, out of the dirt. We catapulted you off to success in 90 days. You're just showing up differently, man. I love
Yeah.
seeing guys show up different and really implementing it. It's awesome.
That's great, man. Well, we're probably going to get cut off here shortly. So, dude, I want to thank you so much, man. I know we had some technical difficulties, but it was awesome to speak with you, and I look forward to chatting with you more, man.
Yeah, likewise, man. Thanks for having me on and taking the time. And I'm sure we'll do another one for
Yeah.
sure.
Sounds
Keep
good,
doing
dude.
your thing too, man. I see all the good you're doing too.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you.
Yeah. All right, brother. We'll talk soon.
All right, cool. Bye.